We talked in this podcast about the brotherhoods of darkness in various forms, and one of our devoted listeners, James, has asked us, can you elaborate on the feminine role in history? It seems that all the records are either missing or have been tampered with by the hidden hand. It doesn't make sense to me that there are only brotherhoods without sisterhoods. Thank you, James, for your question, and we would like to tell you that you are right about this matter. There were sisterhoods, and females in the roles of priestesses, queens, healers, and other important roles, for the ones who were qualified and ready for it. Women who proved to be righteous and ready would also become eligible for initiation and become high priestesses. Men and women were considered to be equal as they were both children of light, star seeds, and indigo children. That was the case after the traumatic events of the fall of Atlantis. That took a major step forward when the negative polarity Anunnakis led by Enki formed the Dark Brotherhood, and another step forward in deleting the feminine role was in the formation of the Roman Empire by Nimrod the motherfucker. As we were saying, to be in the high ranks of the priesthood, a man made an oath to be married, and as such all of the members of the priesthood of light and kings had to be married in unity. That was also the case with Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Yes, you heard me. Jesus was married to Mary, and they kept the pure bloodline until our current days. This bloodline is the Holy Grail, and it is not a cup of wine when you buy it in Walmart for $4.99. Oops. Did we hurt your feelings and ego? It's okay as we just don't give a flying fuck, and keep on listening. Mary Magdalene had a big role in securing and teaching the sacred knowledge of light, alchemy, healing, and ascending to higher forms of existence here on planet Earth. These women were not just wives or side chicks as we're told to believe by the agents of the Illuminati. So, where did it all begin? Within the timeline of 13,000 to 15,000 years ago, after Atlantis fell, the major timeline for targeting the divine feminine concept was at the formation of the Roman Empire and the establishment of the Catholic Church, which was the public office of the Babylonian Brotherhood. They couldn't afford to let the masses access the sacred knowledge of the ancients. One of the ways to control it was to target the gatekeepers of this wisdom, the divine feminine orders of light. How did they target the women? Here are the steps they took. 1. Every woman who had access to knowledge of healing through herbal and natural remedies has been accused of being witches and workers of black magic and satanic rituals. Salem witch hunt is an example. 2. Women were haunted and burned at the stake, brutally abused so that the Dark Brotherhood could destroy the pure bloodline of Lord Michael with the non-pure DNA of the negative polarity entities led by Enki. 3. They also formed a monogamous household with a marriage under the supervision of the church. That way they can tax them as a single unit and give them a set of rules and a blueprint for living under the supervision of the Black Pope. For, in the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, they chose 4 books out of 700 and skewed the messages of Jesus so only they will have access to the truth. They removed almost every mention of the divinity of the women, instead, they showed them as below men. When the Bible of James came out, there was no mention of the wedding of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. 5. They hide the book under the name, the Gospel of Mary, that contains unflattering truth that the church doesn't want you to know. 6. They fabricated the crucifixion of Jesus, an event that didn't happen. Yes, there were people on many crosses, but Jesus wasn't one of them. It was a nice marketing gimmick by the Jesuits. 7. When the Romans conquered lands, they first targeted women and took them as a prize to mix their evil DNA with the pure DNA of women. They also targeted the shamans, chiefs, and elderly of the local tribes, and burned all the books and history that didn't fit into their evil satanic agenda. 8. The Romans adopted the Christianity model by Paul of Tarsus. This is, of course, the false patriarchy model that runs until today. Please don't be confused with the feminism that rose to power in the late 50s, as this is also a fabricated model of femininity that has been orchestrated by the hidden hand. 9. Here are some names of women that most of the information about is either missing or skewed: Martha, Bethany, Mary, Sophia, Caroline, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, Ayan, and Anna. There you have it, 9 methods that were used by the Luciferian Brotherhood to eradicate the true meaning of divine feminine in our history. With that being said, another question arises right now. We have a movement of so-called empowering women. It seems to do good for women and society. Is it the case? This movement has been created by the Brotherhood of the Snake in this timeline because they knew about the shifting of our planet to the fourth density, and they knew that the true wisdom is about to be released to the masses. So, what did they do to counteract it? They created a false movement of feminism with the symbolism of pagan satanic rituals. The women will no longer be the gatekeepers of wisdom and the bloodline of light. Instead, they are becoming more promiscuous and lonelier than ever before as they don't need any man, and becoming more masculine than Alexander the Great. Just like a high priest has to be married. The unity of masculine and feminine frequencies creates a cosmic balance in the lower dimensions. Light warriors are more balanced with feminine equals by their side, on top of them, below, and inside a hot tub. Before we end this episode, one last leading question for you. After knowing all that, what does the future hold for women and men? We are now entering a golden age where all the suppressed knowledge will be released across the globe by the Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Awakened Souls, and it will shock many of you to the core. The archives of the Vatican are now being infiltrated by the Alliance in the army, intelligence, politics, navy, and much more. The reign of the secret society will end as this is a prime decree by the Supreme Creator. They had their time, and now we are entering into two major time splits where the awakened will shift into positive reality and the wicked will be in the timeline where they deliver a shitty coffee in Starbucks. It is what it is. The timeline for the awakening and disclosure is from the spring of 2024 to the spring of 2025. All the timeline has been secured by the White Knights. There is no way that darkness and doomsday plans will be executed unless you choose to hold an image of this reality in your mind. We, the Indigo children of Lyra, decided on heaven on earth. That is it for today, dear starseeds and multidimensional entrepreneurs. I am sure you had fun listening to this episode, or at least we got you mad. Either way, we accomplished our goal today. As always, if you wish to learn more about the travel of your soul from higher dimensions to planet Earth, how and why you chose your family and for what purpose, the different levels of matrix programming by the Babylonian Brotherhood and the Orion Syndicate, how to know if you are a verified Indigo starseed, how to adopt a lifestyle that rises your vibration with detailed blueprints and practices accompanied by a workbook, and amazing bonuses that includes the entire book series of the RA materials. Yes, all 5 of the books in this series are free to download only for the readers of the Indigo Code, Journey of Indigo Starseed to Earth. Now the second edition is available on Amazon.com. Follow the Starseed Lounge podcast show on Rumble, the platform that allows free speech and the truth to be told. With the love light of the one Supreme Creator, go to the Mountain of Light, and visit Hooters when it feels right.